I'm a senior developer in Instana team. Today I will show you how we have to monitor zHMC through Instana. Before we go into the details, we will see what is zHMC and how it is important to monitor the zHMC. As we know that mainframe computers play a vital role in daily operations of most of the world's largest corporations. IBM System Z mainframes are high-performance computers with large amounts of memory and processors that process billions of simple calculations and transactions in real time. The hardware management console is an IBM System Z feature that provides the end-user interface to control and monitor the status of the system. IBM Z Instana sensor monitors the availability and performance of hardware systems and subsystem resources across an enterprise having multiple System Z mainframes. Now let's go into the deep dive of zHMC Instana sensor. Look into the agenda. We will go through the zHMC architecture and how we are integrating zHMC with Instana. Then I will walk through the configuration details, metric details, and then finally demo. Here is the architecture of zHMC, where HMC is nothing but hardware management console which connects to the multiple CPCs, and inside each CPC have multiple partitions. The partitions can be logical partitions or dynamic partitions based on the type of the mode, whether it is classical or DPM mode. Now we'll look into the architecture, how we are integrating zHMC with Instana. As we know that when agent runs on any machine, the zHMC sensor will be activated based on the configuration details provided in the configuration YAML file. Now we can configure multiple HMCs also. As soon as the sensor is activated, it connects to the HMC through REST API and get the details of CPC, LPAR and other metric details. Now we will see what details we are configuring in Instana. We can configure more than one zHMC, as I mentioned already. You can connect to the multiple HMCs based on the configuration details provided. Here we are providing maximum details like host, port, user and password, which are required to connect to HMC through the REST API. Apart from this, we are also configuring poll rate. The minimum poll rate for this is 15 seconds. The poll rate is nothing but as how frequently we are hitting the HMC server through the REST API is like every 15 seconds. We can modify the poll rate also, but it should not be less than the minimum poll rate, that is 15 seconds. We also have events poll rate. This field is configured to get the events through the REST API which are generated in the HMC console. Apart from this, we also have other configuration details like connection timeout, connection request timeout and socket timeout. Now we will see what metric groups we are collecting in Instana. As shown here, we have around 11 metric groups like CPC usage overview, logical partition usage and other metric groups. Few metric groups are available in both the modes, that is classic as well as the DPM mode, and few are specific only to the one mode like crypto usage. Apart from this, we are also collecting information related to the events. These events has been triggered in the HMC servers due to some failures or incidents, and we are collecting these events through the REST API in Instana. Like the events, problematic hardware messages from the CPC, problematic hardware messages from the console, critical console audit events, critical console security events. So these events we are collecting. If any deviation occurs from the normal behavior, alerts and events can be created on these metrics, and the abnormal behavior can be analyzed and diagnosed by using the relevant data. Now we will go to the demo and we will see how we are monitoring the HMC metrics in Instana.
Now I will just go into the deep dive of zHMC monitoring through the Instana. As we know already, HMC is nothing but it's a hardware management console, which is a physical or a virtual server used to manage multiple IBM Z systems or partitions. So zHMC has been placed under the platforms in the Instana dashboard. Here we see zHMC. This is the icon and this is the IBM Z. When we click on this, it will be redirected to the zHMC's dashboard. Here we could see like two zHMCs because we have configured the two zHMCs servers. So that's where you are able to see the two zHMCs, and we are displaying the few basic details like the number of systems, partitions, and the adapters specific to each zHMC console. Okay, when you click on the systems tab, irrespective of the zHMCs, here we will be listing all the systems. In this also we are showing like basic details, what's the type of mode, whether it's classic or a DPM mode. In the DPM, you have the adapters information also. and we are also showing like IP address, the machine type model, serial number, what is the status of each system. Okay, so when you click on this, here you could see like two systems. So when you click on this, it will have the two systems. So these two systems are specific to this particular GHMC console. Okay, when you click on this system, it will be redirected to the system dashboard. Okay, this is the summary tab, is the default tab. As soon as when you hit the system dashboard, this is a default tab. Okay, here we are showing the two KPIs, that is CPC processor usage and power consumption modes. The CPC processor usage is nothing but the processor percent usage of the CPC, and the power consumption is consumed by the specific system. And we are also showing the basic details like what's the API version used by this HMC, and similarly the HMC version also we are showing. And coming down to the graphs, we are showing like all CPU process and shared CPU process. And we also have other type of process, that is dedicated process. Here the CPU process is nothing but the processor person usage of all the central process. That's the percentage. It's a combined together, which gives the CPU processor usage. Similarly, the processor person usage for all the integrated facility Linux process combined together, which gives the IFL processor usage. So those all type CPU process we are showing in this graph. Okay. Now coming to the shared CPU process here, the processor person usage of all the central processors which are shared. Okay, that's the difference. This is about all CPU process, and this is the shared CPU process. So this will give the information about those CPU processor usage, IFL, and all shared processor usage. Okay. Now coming down to further, we are showing overall processor usage. So here we have like these are the processor names, and we are showing the details about the SMT usage. It's nothing but the processor person usage which is running in the simultaneous multi-threading mode. Okay, since we are showing it as a hyphen here because we don't have any data when we hit the HMC APIs. That's where you're seeing as a hyphen in the Instana dashboard. Okay, and you can also search for the specific names like SAP08. Then you can filter here. You can search for a specific processor name here. Okay, this is about this table. Now coming to the next tab, that's environmental and power. Here in this graph, we are showing the total heat load. Total heat load is the combination, it's a combination of heat load, forced air, and the heat load water. And this is like specific metrics. Okay, so all these are related to heat load we are showing in the form of a graphs. Okay, now coming to the environmental degrees Celsius. Here the temperature, dew point, exhaust temperature, all we are showing in this graph. And similarly, the power consumption also we are showing in the graphs. Okay, now coming to the partitions, we have like so many partitions are available, but we don't have data related to that. As I already mentioned, when we don't get any data from the HMC API, we show it as a hyphen in the Instana dashboard. So we have so many logical partitions are available, and each partition's details we will be seeing here. Okay. And coming to the channel, since it's a DPM mode, we don't have any no monitoring. We don't have any data, so that's why we are showing it as a no monitoring data under this tab. Okay. Now under the adapter information, we are showing like different graphs, storage usage, network usage, all in the form of a percentages only. These are in the percentages we are representing in the Instana dashboard. Okay. And coming to this adapter usage here, these are the adapters that are available, and we are showing the usage of each adapter. Okay. Now coming to the network, the data is signed either in the bytes or the packets. So we are segregating in the different tables like bytes, network usage in the bytes and the network usage in the packets. And each so the byte standard we are sending like number of bytes sent, number of bytes received, number of bytes sent per second. And similarly in the packets also we are having like number of packets sent, number of packets received, number of packets discarded. All those information we are showing in this table. And we also have like adapter information, and that is represented in the table here. Okay. This is about the details about the DPM mode, I mean DPM system. And we can go back to the GHMC by clicking on the breadcrumb on the top. So when you click on this, it will be coming to this particular dashboard. Okay. And earlier we have seen like DPM mode, right? Now we will be seeing the classic mode. In the classic mode, we have the similar information like the DPM mode. Whatever the data we get from the APS, we try to show it in the Instana dashboard. Here we have like dedicated CPU process also, so that's why we are showing it here. The rest of the details are all same. Okay. Environmental and power partition, and we have the channel information here. Okay, here the channel usage and the channel usage percentage we are showing, and we are also showing for each channel what which LPAR has been used, that we are showing in the form of a table. Since it's a classic mode, we don't have any information related to the adapters. So that's why we are showing it as a no data. And similarly, we don't have network information also. So we are saying it as a no monitoring data. That's all about this monitoring of GHMC. I hope I have covered the main concepts, metrics in the Instana from the HMC. I hope you like the video. Thank you.